cause hotter take, you loving The Flash or you hating Guardians for a long time? I mean, I would kind of reject the question because I've never hated Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That is entirely the frustration. That's if you have a movie that a bunch of people love and you don't love it, well, why do you hate that movie? I don't hate the movie. I just don't love the movie. It was a huge disappointment. I've never hated it. I've never said that I hated it. But people go, why don't you like this movie? Or here's the reason they don't like it. Well, what about this? This element is good, but I don't like this, this, and this. Why are you always negative about this movie? Well, because you asked me why I didn't like the movie. But I've never hated the movie. I've never hated it. And I lock in on objecting to it because hate is a strong word. And hate is a word that should not be kind of just loosely tossed around. Being disappointed by a movie is not the same thing as hating it. They're dramatically different things. I've gotten more crap for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I think some of that is as simple. The other thing that kind of happens is I do a ranking, and I put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 very low on my ranking. That means emotionally something to me that is different from other people. But this other person, they view the MCU differently. So they love these 5, but they do hate their bottom 5. I don't hate my bottom 5. Being disappointed by a movie is not hating the movie. But I don't care for it. But I have it in my bottom 5. This other person that they hate their bottom 5, they see me have Guardians of the Galaxy lower than some movie that they hate. They attribute that emotion that they have for their bottom 5 to my bottom 5. I have never used any of that emotional language. For the longest time, this has changed more recently, but for the longest time, the worst of the MCU was like a C+ to me. Thor: The Dark World, always been near the bottom, but that's like a C+ movie. People treat it like it's utterly mediocre, but it's not like offensive. It's just, it doesn't leave any impact. It's like a very slick, mediocre thing. So the longest time it was C+ was the bottom mark in my mind. And I think there's been some stuff more recently that's like, ooh, that's bad. But other people are like, oh, I hate Thor: The Dark World. There's nothing to hate there. There's no reason to be offended by that movie. It's just bland. But I reject kind of the idea that I hate the movie. But which one's more... my current feelings on Guardians, I think The Flash would be the hotter take, but I'm more offended by people's reactions to the Flash take, because I think people have been incredibly insensitive because they don't stop to think about what they're saying. So I connect with this movie because my dad died, and that's like a very vulnerable thing to say. It's a very personal thing to say, and there's nothing you can say to that's appropriate to argue with that. That doesn't mean you should like the movie. But if you respond back, how on earth can you put The Flash in your top 10? After I just told you my dad died and that's why? That's actually pretty offensive to me. I take seriously issue with that because doesn't mean you should that should not in any way make you like the movie more. It might give you a perspective of the different way people see something and connect with something you really didn't like. And you go, oh, that actually makes sense why there's an emotional hook there that I don't resonate with, but I can see why someone else would. But if someone plays the dead dad card and you don't pause to go, oh, they're being a human right now, I should respond to them as a human, and you just respond with trying to win on the internet, it's pretty gross.
Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.